Well, good morning, everyone, and how are you? Did everyone have a joyful and blessed Easter? Today is Easter Monday. Some people aren't going to work today. Some people didn't go on Good Friday. I get it. I dig it. We had quite the adventurous weekend with all the storms that came through. Woo, we got people missing in Oklahoma because of the floodwaters. Good morning, Plead the Fifth. Good morning, Crime Time Connie. Who did I miss? Poppy Red Mustang. There's True Crime Beat. So let me start with this because I got a message from Karma Libra. I tried to call her back. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning, Mary Lopez. And what has been going on is berserk. We have 2 people missing outside of Bixby, Oklahoma, 2 still missing in Moore, Oklahoma. You've heard that name before. Well, because of the tornadoes. Look at this.
We had 2 vehicles that were swept off the road. We're here on Eastern Avenue in South 1200 block. The water was significantly higher than we've seen in recent years and never really had any flooding in this area in this particular intersection, but we did tonight. 2 vehicles got swept off the road. One ended up underneath the other one. Occupants of the vehicle that was on top were able to get out. They were taken to safety. They're transported to the hospital or were taken home. The vehicle underneath, we got 1 person out of it.
Now, the 2 and more, as Karma Libra said, they died. And the 2 outside of Bixby, hold on, I got to sneeze. Man, that sneeze was so much, I almost peed my pants. And the 2 outside of Bixby, it's a recovery mission. Just a reminder, no victim blaming. If you see water, okay, you don't know how deep it is, you can't tell, back away. Back away.
He was transported to the hospital where he's in stable but serious condition. There was 2 other occupants in that vehicle that we're still searching for.
Now, those other occupants, are they children, adults?
My understanding is it's his family. I believe there's 1 child. I'm not sure on any age.
And for the other vehicle, the truck, were they both adults in the car?
I do not know that. I know 1 was a male, the driver. I think it was a son or a daughter that was with him, but I'm not sure on any ages.
What should people know about the area right now?
So the water has receded throughout town, not only in this location, but as you can see, there's a lot of debris left on the roadway, pieces of concrete, twigs and branches. We've even seen some large tree logs that are in the roadways. So people that are getting out in the morning or throughout the night should be extremely cautious. As dark as it is, it would be easy for them to come upon one of these items in the roadway. We're working with our street department as fast as we can to get that out of the roadway so that the roadways are safe. I believe at this time, all but Eastern and 1 other intersection, Southeast 19th and Bryant, is open and more.
Yeah, because it's bad. I had just seen it on the news. And I got a message from Karma, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Mary Lopez, welcome back. Lisa Aldrich is here. She had me cracking up over the weekend. Her Facebook posts are hilarious. Just me's in a good place. A good place for floods. She's not too far from the Ole Miss. Old Mississippi. Let's take a second and tell everybody happy Monday. We survived the weekend, and we're going to survive the week together. Hola. Black Skies said, did y'all see about the Pope passing? Yeah. And on Easter. Is that not a little spooky? Couldn't believe it. Mary Lopez knows the routine. She said, Baptist church style. Exactly. Welcome your neighbor. My goodness. So I hope everybody had a great Good Friday, Saturday, Easter. If you could get out amongst the storms, hope you enjoyed church and your lunch and everything that went on, the Easter egg hunts. I always feel so bad for the kiddies, not the kitties like my cat, but the kids. You know, when it's too cold on Halloween to trick or treat, or it's too hot and they're like sweating in their costumes. And then you have Easter and they want to do their Easter egg hunts and they've got their Beyond Sunday best on. And it's either storming, so they can't get out there and get their Easter eggs, or it's too hot and they got on those damn white tights and those black shoes I used to wear with layers of clothes, one thing after another. Well, today we're going to talk about Marlena again. She really put the turd in the punch bowl. She had a lot to say, and maybe her and PG will make up. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I think she was pretty rude to her. When you go to someone's house, you abide by their rules. 100%. If they say kick your shoes off at the door, that's what you do. Nobody cares how stinky your feet are. If somebody says, I don't want your nasty shoes messing up my rug or my carpet or scuffing up my hardwood floors, you do it. PG had given her several warnings to calm her shit down, to quit with the threats, to quit talking about how she can knock people's teeth out, and all the above. Well, she got the steel-toed boot in the ass. But first, let's go to your comments from last week, and we will get to it. All right, from last week's show entitled Teflon Don, Kimberly 9129, almost said 90210, said, I would be so sad sitting out there in that yard in the rain, talking about Cant's video. I'd be thinking nonstop about little Summer dancing in the rain that the day she made the video over. Wouldn't anyone? This is a very powerful comment because you think about it. You're sitting out in the rain, not knowing where your child is, and she's perfectly content. Now, some people say it's because she has the mentality of a 14-year-old. Well, I know a lot of 14-year-olds that understand the difference between life, death, how to water plants, how to take care of animals. They're responsible for babysitting. But you got Cant, the mother of a missing child out there in the rain, talking about dogs and shit. Kim Cassidy, totally different Kim, said, no, I don't believe Marlena is a suspect in the disappearance of Summer, but there's no way she didn't know the way they lived, and she left her daughter there. Katie Ann said it was way back that Dawn and them hid when they knew CPS were to show up. I agree with that 100%. The proof is in the pudding. Our two country girls said, quote from Cant, it is peaceful out here, said Candace, the mother of missing Summer Moon Utah Wells and her 3 sons, taken by Child Protective Services and later signed over parental rights. Nothing in Candace Bly Wells' life should ever be peaceful. How could you even say that word? How can you feel peaceful and be at peace when your little girl went missing July 15th of 2021. She was only 5 years old and has now been missing for nearly 4 years. What is wrong with you, Candace? Your heart, soul, and mind should literally be at war with one another. Not that we wish anxiety on anyone. We're speaking from a human perspective, how we would feel. Your heart should be fighting to hang on to every memory possible of your precious little girl. The sound of her voice, the vision of her smile, the way she giggled. Your mind should be thinking nonstop as to who, what, when, where, why, and how this possibly could have happened. Your soul should be in pain that is unbearable. Because as time passes, so does the sound of Summer's voice, the sound of her laughter, and the sweet giggle of a little girl will escape even the sharpest of minds. Between fighting to find Summer and fighting to preserve every memory of her possible, you should never be at peace. Nothing in your life should ever be peaceful. In my opinion, as a mother and as a human being, you are disgraceful beyond measure. You let every one of your children down. You can say you had nothing to do with your daughter disappearing, and you can even say you don't know where she is at. But it is my opinion. You know exactly what led up to her getting gone. You know the cause, and you know the effect. Because of yours and Dawn's actions and the things that we're both involved in caused the effect of Summer's disappearance. The knowledge of this should eat you alive. Woo. I'm typing back to her right now. Remember, if I showcase your comment, send me an email. That's incredible. Can we go ahead and give a comment award? Because that just about broke me reading that. It's everything we're thinking and sometimes don't have the nerve to say, you know? Now, quite a while back, Dawn said that Marlena was a suspect. You would think Marlena, knowing the chitter chatter around her, that she would be thankful for Prayer Garden's help to, get her side of the story out. No, I don't think she's a suspect. I don't think she was anywhere around that hill when Summer disappeared. If she's a suspect, then why did Candace call her at 4:37 p.m. that day? Of course they spoke to her. They know where everybody was. And now this new story, she's saying these two dudes that she just recently brought up, that the police have been trying to reach out to them for 2 weeks. Like they're going to tell Booger King. Okay? Like they're really going to involve her in what they're doing. But this is what Dawn said quite a while ago.
Slides and critters on the farm. Before that, I just spent much time on.
I got to slow this down. Playback speed. Let's go to this one. Hang on.
The farm. Before that, I just spent much time on prayer gardens, and then now I'm talking to you all.
Yeah,
and I'm cool with that. Yeah, there's all kinds of people that I suspect. You've been up here. You know what it's like up here. I mean, I wish I would have drove you around and showed you a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been all around the area. I drove all around the area. And like you told me there was a girl that you suspected when I had talked to you that was coming around that hung out with some riffraff. And what was her name?
How many people has Dawn suspected but has never suspected Candace? We have heard everything from Joe Biden, Mexican cartels, to Dudley, to Fred, to Andy, to Marlena, but never the two adults that were home with Summer.
Drove all around the area. And like you told me there was a girl that you suspected when I had talked to you that was coming around that hung out with some riffraff. And what was her name? Melina or something like that?
Marlena Crawford. And I have no qualms about spreading her name because the fact of the matter is, the bitch come up here with Bobby Dice when she knew exactly, because we was trying to help her at the time, and we give her all kinds of money. We done everything we could to help her. We babysitted her daughter. She come up here and dump her fucking daughter off. Sorry, I don't mean to say it like that. Sorry, my bad. Excuse me, please. But she come up here and bring her daughter up here. She's a precious little girl, beautiful little girl, and she was just dump her off here for.
Dawn describing the precious little girl, beautiful little girl, gives me the damn heebie-jeebies, okay? Grosses me out, if you want to know the truth.
Sorry, my bad. Excuse me, please. But she come up here and bring her daughter up here. She's a precious little girl, beautiful little girl. And she would just dump her off here for weeks at a time while she went out and done her dog or whatever the fuck the hell she done. And I didn't have a problem with that, but she was taking advantage of us. And then when she knew where me and Candace were at a certain point in time, she brought her cousin or whoever she is, a friend, Bobby Dykes up here, and they stole every tool out of my shed that they could and everything that they could steal.
And he said she was like living in a homeless camp or something at one point or something like that on the road.
Well, I mean, her husband, he's in the meth and everything, and they didn't, they just have some hard times. I mean, her mother has custody of her kid right now. I'm not going to mention her name or anything.
Okay, so right there, Dawn knows who has custody of Marlena's child. Now, as we know, a couple of weeks ago, it was said that Dawn, he's not hard to miss, was outside of Marlena's mom's house. I can't verify that because I wasn't there. I don't live in that hood, okay? I don't live in that neighborhood. I'll tell you what, some of you live in a new neighborhood because look at how it's raining. Our girl Diana and our man Zach gifted Crime Lines and Lies memberships. You get those umbrellas now. Woo! If you don't have a membership around here, your name must be Walking Dead or Brit.
Deal.
And he said she was like living in a homeless camp or something at one point or something like that on the road.
Well, I mean, her husband, he's in the meth and everything, and they didn't, they just have some hard times. I mean, her mother has custody of her kid right now. I'm not going to mention her name or anything, but her mother has custody of her kid right now.
Okay, we're going to come back to that. I promise. We're going to come back to that. Because it is very troubling that he has any idea who has custody of her child. Now, let's go through how many people have lost custody of their children since Summer Wells vanished. Dawn and Candace. The boys are gone. They even signed over rights. Allie. Marlena. Hell, even old Cam and Allie got their kids torn away from them. I can't say torn away. Look at that, Angel Pete, and here's 39 more. Thank you, Angel Pete. Now let's get to how Marlena on PGs, gotta give the credit, was extremely rude. So if you're here for Summer, there's no reason to be an asshole to who's hosting you. Diva said, if Dawn Wells was spotted by my house, I would call the police. Hands down. I'll be like, kick his ass back to the holler. He doesn't need to be around here. He is at the least a person of interest in the disappearance of Summer Wells. And if they start there, not really, I'd say, where has it officially been announced that him, Can't, and Grandass are cleared? Until then, I don't want him anywhere around my house.
I'm gonna admit, I got up on that panel today. Yeah, I clicked in on that panel just to let them know that she was full of shit and she was lying. And they didn't kick me off the panel. I left. I said what I needed to say, and I know that she knows that she's a fucking liar, and she knows that I know she's a fucking liar, and I know that what she's told and what she hasn't told, and she's lying, and she knows she's lying, and she said she recorded me up at the store that day. I want to hear that shit. I want to hear that shit that she recorded me because I had more than one witness.
You're talking.
And then
You're talking about Jody Sue.
Yeah, I am talking about Jody Sue.
I think she's a mother freaking one of them witches too. Now, in my opinion, Jody Sue's a witch as well. But
and you know what? She put she put my brother out there, and she had no right to. She didn't have his permission. She put my sister-in-law that's with my brother out there. She had no permission. And I don't go around I don't go around threatening people because I got law enforcement on my side.
They posted up Marlena's daughter's picture. Like they showed Marlena's daughter's face over there. Oh hell no! I'm going to tell you now. That is against.
Well, it should be against the law, but it definitely is against YouTube terms of service. Some people just aren't smart enough to know how to reach out to YouTube. You do it through Twitter, Twatter, now called X. But she's bringing up this witchcraft shit that Jody Sue claims to be a part of. Okay? I didn't really pay it any never mind a few years ago. I might have said something about it. I'd have to go back and look, which would take me a month of Sundays. Where people were like going, we should respect everybody's religion. But she did do a Lord's Prayer, but she switched it to witchcraft. Okay? It was really, really damn weird. Matter of fact, here it is. Get this to load. Jody Sue Brown said, you effing bitch, I'm going to send you to hell where you effing granny is. Okay, this woman's grandmother had disappeared. My glasses aren't that good. To hell where your effing granny is, your nasty, stinking ass whore granny. Nemo, Livy, Morph, Sue revealed, and she does the Lord's Prayer in some sort of different language. Now, that is her account. I know some people say it's not, but it is, or I wouldn't have put it up. And this actually, as you can see, came from a private chat. You see where it says private chat and above it says brand? See, that's what it looks like on my end. But she put that into someone's private chat. Now, if somebody could kindly ask Prayer Garden to unblock me from Facebook, she probably doesn't realize she has me blocked. I want to send her this Jody Sue Brown stuff. Because we got Booger King and witchcraft.
It's the policy out here. They are not allowed to put a minor's face out there. That little girl has nothing to do with Summer Moon Utah Wells case whatsoever. That child, they're not allowed to put any.
And if Jody is listening, I can tell you right now, you're not very good at witchcraft. Because if you were, you wouldn't have needed all these cash apps to get your tiny house. You could have done like Samantha on Bewitched and wiggled your nose and said, boom, I got a tiny house. Instead, you got ripped off by Doug from No Thanks Investigates, and she named some other people. Just wiggle that nose. Wiggle that nose. Good morning, Lips. So let's not worry about her casting spells because you know what? As Benny used to say, she's not too good at this.
Child out here under the age of 18 years old and show their face. Oh, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. I'm going to tell you, Marlene, I'd be looking into doing something about that. I would definitely be looking into doing something. I'm going to tell you now, right there. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if that old witch owns her house or not, but Marlena could take it. Marlena can actually take it from her for putting her daughter out there because she's putting her daughter in harm's way.
She said that Jody said that the only reason I was
missing off the internet every day. Kids come up missing off the internet every day.
Jody
You're not allowed to put a child out there.
Listen, she said the only reason I was on your panel is because you were paying me for your interviews. You was putting my cash up and everything, yeah, my PayPal and all that. The only reason that I was on your panel every night is because I got paid for it. I got a thing to say to them. I wasn't never paid. I never asked you for payment. I never even said that I wanted a payment. You did that because.
Well, in all fairness, Marlena, you did put your Cash App out there. You did give it to Prayer Garden. You did explain to me before you blocked me that you need money. Lips and D are both in the chat. I put the StreamYard link down if you all want to come up and chat, or anybody for that matter. I don't bite. So in all fairness, don't act like somebody's shoving money down your throat. Okay, girlfriend, let's not do that. Good morning, Jay.
Because you wanted people to help me. That's it. I never asked you to put my PayPal in there or my thing.
I'm going to tell you something, Marlena. Stop letting these people block your blessings because that's who and how they are. I'm going to tell you something. Jody Sue is sitting in a trailer, and a whole mother freaking trailer that was bought off of Summer's case. Okay, Summer owns that trailer. Summer
she did it all for the money. That's what I asked her. I said, what about the money that she collected?
Yes, she did. She collected tons and tons and tons of dollars in thousands, and she's still collecting. She's still collecting off this baby's case as we speak. Don't let Jody Sue, don't let Jody Sue come up and trying to, this is a woman that's sitting over there collecting and has been collecting off this baby forever and a day. Matter of fact, when she was on Tiffany Marie's panel, she would tell Tiffany Marie, you cannot put up no Cash Apps, no Venmo, no PayPal. You cannot put up no super stickers, no super chats over here. The only thing, when I'm on your panel, the only thing you can put up is my Cash App, my stuff. Because she wanted to get all the money, all the money at Tiffany Marie's channel. And Tiffany get nothing for running her channel. Right? That's how Jody operated.
She tried to say that you wasn't nothing but a liar. You was gonna twist everything I had around and all kinds of stuff today.
Australia, I appreciate that, girl. Super sticker. Hey, I appreciate it. That will definitely help Summer's channel. God bless. I'm going to tell you what.
You ain't been nothing but good to me. Ever since I started talking to you, you ain't been nothing but good to me. You have prayed for me. There's, Summer's Army's been behind me. There's several women out of your chat that checks on me daily. So
I'm gonna.
therefore,
I tell you, Marlena.
hold on a minute. Go ahead.
I trust and believe. PG is no saint. I'm no saint. I don't even act like one. But I tell you what,
Okay. It's actually going to get comical, even though we know we're talking about something extremely, extremely sad. It does get comical because I loved last week or the week before when PG said, I'm a brilliant bitch. And today she's like, PG ain't no saint. Nope. Nobody's trying to canonize you. But you just keep doing what you're doing, girlfriend. You just keep doing what you're doing.
I am truthful. I'm truthful as hell. And I run this channel. Everybody in this chat right now, anybody that's been here since day one on Summer's channel or in the bushes with their big freaking heads watching all the time like Jody Sue does. Everybody over here knows. They know that one thing I do is I work for Summer and I work for Summer alone. That's it. I work for this little girl.
Now then, this is what I'm afraid is going to happen. Because you see, people like Marlena, they have to have someone to cling to. We've seen it. We've seen it. They shit in one nest and they have to run to another. Okay? They shit in one nest and they try to find another one. You see them on this channel and that channel and that channel and that channel. Who do you think Marlena will cling to? Is she gonna resurrect? Somebody gonna resurrect some old channel? Is she going to blend forces with Jody Sue and Andy? What is she gonna do? What is she going to do?
Girl, no matter what. And I'm going to tell you something. They are right. They are right when it comes to the people that come up here on this panel. I don't know where she went. When it comes to the people that come on the panel, let me tell you something. Like Sassy Cats, I was very good to Sassy Cats. Put a one in the chat, you guys, if I was not really super good to Sassy Cat. Yes, I was.
They said that you
I gave
my protector and all kinds of stuff.
I gave Sassy Cats every opportunity. Let me tell you something. And I even overlooked a lot of things. I mean, this girl did not know how to be the friend that I was to her. And, I was really good to her, really super good to her, all the time good to her. And I'm going to tell you what, she couldn't be good to me. And then I started finding things out. I thought she was a victim to the Wells. I thought she was a victim to the Wells the way Summer was. Actually, I believe you're a victim to the Wells as well. And I thought, she was one of the victims to the Wells. And, so I was really good to her over in Arkansas, not in Tennessee. But, as things started to unfold, I started to find out that she wasn't a victim at all. She was just like them. The more she talked, the more I realized that she, was as much into abusing and allowing children to be abused as the Wells were. And therefore, I don't have nothing for her. Hell yeah. I turned the table on her. You bet your ass I did. You know why? Because I don't like people who go along with little children being hurt. Hell no. And just recently, she was back to doing it again. Had a little girl up in a hotel. Everybody's calling law enforcement there. Right now, we still haven't got no feedback on if they found this little girl that they were in there doing some weird stuff to, and she was also in on the mother and 3 children that came up missing over in Arkansas at that hotel Dawn and Candace was at. I mean, I'm not going to support nobody like that. Hell no. And I booted her ass. And she'll stay booted. She'll stay booted from now on, because over here we don't put up with people like that. We don't kiss ass with anybody. Well, we don't kiss ass at all, but we sure in the hell ain't going to be kissing no backside with somebody that abuses children. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
But
she
the
said
point being
today
is,
also that she said today, Jody Sue said today too that, well, I'll film it and go take a drug test and this and that. I said, nobody wants to see your nasty ass. Nobody wants to see your nasty ass. Nobody wants to see that shit.
and Jody Sue was saying, she was saying all kinds of crazy shit today, girl. She was like, Marlena owes money to Grandis. You should ask her what she owes, what she was.
Now, Jody Sue, who it's not her business how money is exchanged. Let's say Grandass did send some money to Marlena for whatever reason. Hell, could have been for her silence. Let's be fair. Could have been for her silence. Because we did not know who Marlena was until Dawn started talking. Why is it Jody's business? And thank you, Candace, for the super sticker. Thank you, Diana. You guys are making me blush. You hit that like button.
Was owing money to Grandis amount and to Candace. She was owing money to all of those people up there, over there on the hill.
I'm not having money, is what she said.
Did you owe Grandma? Did you owe Grandis any money?
Hell no.
Because the last thing I heard, you don't even know that old hag.
I don't know the old hag.
I find it, and that's what, that's.
Well, now she has to know the old hag because the old hag is who brought her daughter back to her. So I'm even more confused now. And yes, Marlena's daughter was one of the last people to see Summer Wells. I'll just say out in public because I don't want to say alive. And I want to know how Jody Sue knows everything about everybody on that hill except for how those children were being treated. How the hell you know who owes each other money, but you're totally in the dark about how kids were treated?
Really what, gets to me is that's what really gets to me. You want to know what really gets to me? What really gets to PG is when I hear people talk like Jody Sue, I know they're talking more about themselves than they'll ever be talking about Marlena. So obviously I know Jody Sue knows Grandma. So obviously Jody Sue owes Grandma some money for something. And I know that Jody Sue knows Candace. So, obviously Candace feels that Jody Sue owes her some money. Maybe even half of that trailer she's living up in that she got off of Summer's back, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I think. If you ask me, that's what I think.
If I could have got a hold of her today, I would be needing bail money. That's how mad she had me.
Well,
then she's putting my brother out there. It's none of her. Like I said on the chat in there, it ain't about me. It ain't about her. And I've said this from day one. This is about Summer. This ain't about me, what I did in my life or who I was with or what I was doing. This is about Summer.
Damn right. Damn right. And as far as Jody's witchcraft skills, I'm going to put that to rest right now because let's face it, she's not real keen. She probably picked up one of these from the Dollar General.
Will this toy be tons of fun? Without a doubt. I'm Tammy with TTPM, and I have the Magic 8 Ball from Mattel here. It's the beloved novelty toy that kids and maybe even some adults have been asking questions to for decades. Designed to look like a large 8 ball from the game of pool, it's simple to use. Just ask any yes or no question and turn over the magic 8-ball to see the answer. It can be a question about romance, friendship, school, work, and more.
Like, who owes Grandis money?
Let's try it. Will this review get thousands of views? Most likely.
Woo-hoo!
Will it get millions? Outlook not so good. Oh well. Recommended for ages 6 and up. This is a fun novelty item that can be used daily, and it's cool for players of any age. It may evoke nostalgia in some parents like me who remember playing with this when we were kids. For where to buy and current prices, find us at TTPM and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more reviews every day.
Now, maybe ask Jody Sue if she's ever split an 8-ball and not from Mattel with Dawn.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you something else. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about your brother or his wife or any of the other people that you guys associate with. But I tell you this, I don't care about your brother's business or his wife's business or anybody else's business, because I'm going to tell you what, I'm too damn busy caring about Summer Moon, Utah Wells, a little girl that disappeared, a little girl that Jody Sue lied her ass off and said that she heard a scream when God knows she didn't. Why did you make up that scream, Jody Sue? Why did you and your son make up a freaking fake scream? Why would you make up a fake scream at, oh, we heard a scream at 4:47, 4:43, 4:40. Well, it was actually about 3:30. That damn scream has moved from freaking 4:47 back to 4:43, back to 4:30. I mean, come on, Jody Sue. When did you hear the fucking scream? Exactly what time?
And don't you?
And most importantly, about the scream is that law enforcement said it's unfounded. And now all the people that say, well, how can you, it's not like Jody Sue recorded it. Listen. We have watched a lot of trials together. And neighbors will come on and say, no, but I did hear this, or I did see this. And then from there, next thing you know, they're in the witness box. Don't think it's just old Ronnie Skanky Lawson investigating this case, or Pussy Pruitt. No, there's also a federal agency on hold and a state agency which solves a lot of crimes on the daily. They do. So for them to say unfounded tells me a lot.
You know, I'm a part of the cornbread mafia. What the hell is that?
There is no cornbread mafia.
No,
And I was talking with Don and Candace right after they got back from Dr. Phil's show, and they were laughing their asses off about the cornbread mafia. I told them, I said, where the hell is the cornbread mafia? And they're like, in the fucking oven, laughing their asses off. Even Candace was laughing her ass off. I'm going to tell you something. These mother freakers have smoke screened the hell up out of people. I'm going to tell you about homeless fucking junkies like freaking Candace and Don Wells. And because that's what they've been for a long, long time. And, you know, in Utah, in freaking Arkansas, in Tennessee, this is what they've been for a long, long time. And I'm going to tell you something about freaking clowns like this. They can cry at the drop of the fucking hat. They can mother freaking look sad as hell at the drop of the hat. They can freaking come up with some fucking sad song at the drop of the hat. These motherfuckers wear, I'm going to tell you now, they wear fucking what they call soft-soled shoes. where they can freaking do a freaking dance and song in a mother freaking New York second to take you to the cleaners. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're damn good at it. They're damn good at it. I mean, these mother freakers, this shit is an art to them. It's an art to them because it's all they've ever known. It's all they've ever done. It's the same shit.
She's right. And it's very telling that they laughed at something that actually Candace was breaking down about. All right, this is from our good friend, John Davis, True Crime. I got to decline a phone call or it's going to mess up my chat.
God, she took a lot of pictures. Well, why don't you let her in? Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
So what we're going to do is, instead of analyzing what Dawn and Candace are saying, we're going to analyze what Dr. Phil's asking, because I think I finally learned what Dr. Phil was up to during the Dawn and Candace interviews.
You may not, there may be something in your mind you don't even know you know, or you may know something that you haven't chosen to speculate about, or you haven't chosen to tell. And that's what I'm really focused on right now, because you're in the best position to know what could have happened. If you had to speculate, what do you think happened?
If you have to speculate, what do you think happened? What he's doing is just trying to get her to say something. Because as we watch this, Kenny shuts everything down. She adds nothing to the questions Dr. Phil's asking.
I don't know what happened. She just was gone. I don't know. I wish I knew. No. Well, no way that I know of. Because I don't even know what that is. Not that I'm aware of. I can't think of anybody. I have no idea what happened. I don't.
Would it be someone, a stranger? Would it be somebody you know?
Why is it y'all hang around a ton of shady people, but you act like there's no chance any of them damn people could have been in on nothing?
Hey, Dawn. Dawn, ask yourself that. You've blamed everybody. Flat out accusations. Flat out pointing the finger, accusing people. But you believe Candace and Grandis. Never crossed your mind? Hell, you went all the way to California. You almost didn't get Candace on the plane. She was freaking out. Dawn, you told me. When she saw all the cops and everything there, I guess she's not very worldly. She doesn't understand 9/11 and how our airports are protected. And she was freaking out and wanting to go back home. Instead of going to California to advocate for her daughter. Dawn, you told me yourself you had to force her. I would not want to see that throwdown at the airport. She got free crack and free teeth. And here we are. And afterwards, they're laughing their asses off to PG about the cornbread mafia. Now, remember, when she was on the Dr. Phil show, she was looking at Dr. Phil's bald head like it's a mirror. Like she wouldn't take her, she was eye locked. She wouldn't stop. She just kept looking straight at him like, uh-oh. Is he going to go crazy on me? Is he going to do old school Dr. Phil? What's he going to do? What does he know? What does he know?
That's what gets me too. It's gotta be a stranger.
You know.
I don't know anybody that would have did it. Then it had to be a stranger.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
Scott asked you about the cornbread mafia. You got very upset when he asked you about that. Why did that upset you so much?
Because I don't even know what that is.
Bullshit level, DEFCON 5.
I'm sorry?
I've never even heard of it. I don't even know what it is.
Brandy, I'm going to say a word, and I want you to tell me what feeling you get when I say this word.
Okay.
Cornbread mafia.
What the hell?
Does it scare you?
No.
Does it immediately strike fear upon the term being uttered?
No.
How often have you been scared of things that you have no idea what they are?
Oh, never.
Thank you.
And why would it upset you so much?
Because it sounds horrible.
Well, after thinking about it and watching that a billion times like we have, I'm convinced Dr. Phil thinks they're full of shit too. I believe he was just trying to get law enforcement something by trying to get them to add something to the story.
I agree. I think that was the main point.
Yeah, I think Dr. Phil pretty much thinks what the rest of us does. I think it's just if he could have gone and say anything new, that might have helped Summer's case.
OMG. I had beans and ham and cornbread mafia on Friday night. But to hear PG said they were laughing about it, and John Davis's great work, go check him out. But to hear PG say they were laughing about it made me sick to my stomach.
Line. I mean, if anybody has watched any of that, then they know I confronted her ass today. And that woman wasn't even going to let me up on panel unless I showed my face because I didn't have so many followers on my YouTube account, is what she said. Well, she's only got 3 followers. I figured she'd have more than that. No, I don't get on YouTube just to be on YouTube. I listen to my music on Spotify, and I get on YouTube to watch all these crazy people that worry more about themselves and everybody else than they worry about Summer. And then the only channel I've described to is yours. And I had to describe to hers today because I couldn't comment nothing. And I described to what's his name's that was up there the other night.
That's a lie. Let me tell you how I know. You have to basically be subscribed to Jody Sue for like a week before you can comment because she is so used to people jacking with her. Okay? She really is. And now it's pretty much commonplace. Okay? It is. So for her to say, oh, I had to subscribe to her today. Okay. You know, I tried to chime in on Jody Sue's one time. I have a pretty liberal subscriber thing here. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Because I'm not opening up the floodgates for every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come in just to give me hell. Today is 5 minutes. Because of what's happened the last couple of weeks, which is very sad considering we're talking about a missing little girl. But no, Jody Sue could give tips to Trump because she knows how to build a wall. She might only have 20 people in there and she don't give a shit as long as she can sit there and smoke cigarettes and mumble. That's all she cares about.
Justin's, I described to him. That's the only people I described to. The only time I was described to her is because I wanted up on that panel to confront Jody Sue and her sitting there talking trash and nothing but lies. That's the only reason I got up there. She's not going to do me that way and then call me out and say that she recorded me and this and that.
You know why Jody Sue dislikes PG? She dislikes PG because, for one, I was on the inside and know all of her bullshit.
Yeah.
All of her bullshit. And two, she don't like PG because when no one else wanted to take the time to listen to that bitch, to listen to all the bullshit that she was saying, because they couldn't stand to hear her mumbling damn voice. Yeah. Nobody else wanted to try to cipher through that shit. I'm going to tell you what, PG
because
did.
you're dropping my Cash App and not hers.
PG.
Back to Cash Apps. I described to Justin's, and I just described to hers today. Subscribe. You understand? Consonants and vowels are important, my friends. They are. You all know it. I know it. And that's pretty much it. Described to the channel. Described. Goodness.
PG did listen to her, that bitch. And PG did mother freaking listen to what she was saying. And I caught all of her dirty shit. And I did bring it out here and I played it for all the people. And she's pissed off about it. And I'm going to tell you something, Jody Sue. You know, and I know you miss dirty deleter. You want to talk about people dirty deleting? You dirty deleted everything from day fucking one. So shut the hell up about how you want to smother babies with pillows, how you don't care if they fall off a cliff, how you would hurt them if they put one toe on your freaking property. You are disgusting. You're disgusting. And you mother freaking would.
Now, I have never deleted one show, but YouTube deleted one for me without me asking. Okay? They deleted a show because of some music I used. And I had zero say in that because what I say is what I say. If someone comes in and says, you're wrong, or I don't agree with you, and by the way, that's the kinder comments that can come through if someone disagrees. All right? Right? That's how I keep things. But Jody Sue is something else. And you know what? At one time I did take up for her because I'm like, well, she's a neighbor. She's right there. And things went south real quick. Real quick. Right?
Was mean to those kids over there at Candace's. You did not like those kids. The only kid you said you half liked was the boy in the middle, and that was it. You didn't care about Summer at all. Matter of fact, you called Summer a name when she needed a towel, and she come to the door wanting to get a towel. You freaking said ugly things about her. I don't want to even hear your mouth, Jody Sue, at all, period. Matter of fact, you said if you had a child that had a disability, that you would literally smother it, Jody Sue. That came out of your mouth, not PG's. Okay? Don't try to look don't try to look godly when you're a freaking devilish bitch, right? Be who you are. Show your true fucking colors, right? Stop trying to cover up all your bullshit. Everybody knows who and what Jody Sue is out here because every last one of us listened to her and a real fucking her at the beginning of all of this. And now she's trying to paint her black self white. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. She is, you know, I'd like to say she's black-hearted too, but she ain't got no heart, right? She ain't got one.
Mad.
She done nothing.
She's mad because I've got out here and talked about Summer more than they had even said in 4 years. That's for one. For two,
I just don't think Marlena should give herself that much credit because we went through it last Monday and the Monday before to say that Marlena has spoken out years ago and somebody scared her off. I don't know who, But we do know that Andy took credit for finding her in the Burger King parking lot. We also know that Dawn was sighted outside of her mother's house. And so, you know, she must know something or they wouldn't care. All right? Right? If I go to the grocery store and I see a car I recognize, I don't think anything about it. I don't feel the need to go on YouTube and say, hey, I saw Dan's truck at Doc's Country Mart. Or, hey, I saw Lisa's truck, my neighbor, at Mazzio's. No, it's not a big deal. But they are keeping tabs on Marlena, according to them. They've admitted it.
Knows I'm telling the truth. And for 3, she can't stand it because you're dropping my cash app and I'm getting a little bit of money after they've collected so much money off of this case. That's what it boils down to. They're jealous.
They are jealous. They are jealous. And you know something, Jody Sue? Be jelly. Be jelly because her cash app is up, is going to stay up. And anyone that wants to help her is going to help her, Jody Sue. So back up and shut up. You done got your share, right? And you're still getting tons off of Little Summer. And you didn't help her. You know, Marlena didn't live across the road, seeing and knowing everything over there, but you did. Marlena lived somewhere else. She was like Allison and them coming in and being smokescreened by Candace and Dawn and all of them. Your ass lived across the road. You guys knew the true people over there on 110 Ben Hill Road. You knew what was going on over there more so than anybody, but you got that little girl no help. You got them children no help. You said those boys were over there stealing food out of your refrigerator because they were hungry. Well, don't you call Child Protective Services if there's children stealing food out of your refrigerator because they're so damn hungry they ain't got none at home? Don't you call Child Protective Services because you're concerned that these children ain't eating? And if you ain't got, you know, if you're not home, if you go on vacation for a week or two, these kids may not survive until you get back because there's no refrigerator for them to get into. So don't you try to get children help that are so hungry? What if they can't sneak over? What if the parents are watching them and they can't sneak over to steal food out of your refrigerator? Don't you think that Child Protective Services is the place to be calling if children are coming into your home stealing food because they're starving? Don't you think Child Protective Services is the place to call if there's a little girl coming out of the shower with a grown-ass man in their birthday suit, wanting to tell and acting like something's wrong? You don't say a kid was acting like a little effing brat. That kid was acting like a little effing brat. I think you would call Child Protective Services because this kid has a mom that isn't tending to her.
Just my opinion. Isn't that the cool thing to say? Just my opinion. Allegedly, Jody Sue has said that she called Child Protective Services. Now, I know someone who, and I was on the phone with him, that called Child Protective Services. And they were given a case number. So when Jody Sue was asked to go through her email, because you can track, you know, the case through there, there's not going to be all kinds of information, but it's going to tell you if it's open, closed, unfounded, founded. She didn't have a case number at all. People like that are too scared to call CPS because of their own wrongdoings. They're not going to do it. They're just not. Because they don't want turnabout is fair play and their can of worms to be opened. And here's the whole thing. Supposedly, Candace and Dawn's children were going all the way down the hill, sneaking into Jody's house, which is not Jody's house, stealing food, and disappearing. What? Would anyone not notice kids in their house? How are they breaking in? They come through the window? You have your door open? What's going on there, Jody? That would be enough to make a phone call.
Knees, and she got some weirdo dad in there taking showers with her. What the fuck? Is that not a 911 call right there? I think it is. Right? Come on. And then she has the audacity to be able to show her freaking frog face out here. She sits up there like a frog with them big glasses on, showing her face out here like she done something or she's doing something for something. She ain't done shit for summer. She ain't done nothing out here but keep up with all the information so she could keep them fucking weirdos safe. Jody Sue is working for all the suspects in this, not Summer. She's keeping up with everything going on so she could try to keep Andy safe. And she can try to keep Don and Candace safe. And she can keep all of these people who surround Summer's case safe. And people, you know, I wouldn't support her at all. I do not support people who support suspects. I don't do it. And I'm not going to. I don't know how people stand to even look at Jody Sue's face. After she came out and said, go ask Andy what he was giving Candace to sedate those little girls so they could be touched. I don't know how you look at her face anymore. I don't know how anybody looks at her face
That's a
knowing.
lie, PG. That's a lie. She only took pot over there. That's what she said today. She's sucking up on Andy's ass today, son.
I'm going to tell you something.
I want to know how Jody went from a protective order to working in orchestra with Andy. Wasn't he the monster? Wasn't he Baltimore? Wasn't she calling his new girlfriend, who he's married to now because he would never marry her, coleslaw? And now they're going back and forth in these chats. Andy, it's deeper than you think. Oh, really? Who told you that, Jody, unless you know for a fact? How do you know? How do you know?
Something.
She said the reason she told him to be quiet in that chat that night is because he really needed to keep his mouth shut for some, it was something off the wall. And I was like,
yeah, I'm going to tell you what, I got the video. I got the video of her saying it. And it hasn't been tampered with at all. And Jody Sue, I think law enforcement really need, a matter of fact, I'm going to call and I'm going to ask them why they haven't gave you a lie detector's test. I'm going to ask them why they don't ask you to take one, Jody Sue. Because you know something, you have incriminated yourself so many times. I want them to ask you if you and Candace did not have a conversation about Candace giving you money and about the screen, her changing the timeline. I want them to ask you about the timeline, Jody Sue. If Candace did not call and ask you to change it, and you and her did not have an argument about the money that you felt she owed you. Okay, Jody Sue, that's number one. And then number two, I want them to ask you about you saying, did you or did you not say that Andy Bernard was giving stuff to Candace to sedate those children so they could be touched? Yes, you did, Jody Sue. Yes, you did. And you would fail that fucking lie detector's test miserably, Jody Sue. Yes, you would. There ain't nobody lying, Jody Sue, but you. There ain't nobody protecting. I'm going to tell you something, Jody Sue. Andy don't care about your ass. Andy's married to something else. He is freaking banging something else right now, Jody Sue. And he'd rather bang anything than your old ass. He done had enough of your ass. He done wore your ass out, and he done rode it hard and put that bitch away wet.
Do you not know
Well,
that she
I do
also
what
said
Jody
that?
Sue. So you know what? Your old dude that you're protecting, he's banging something else, and you're sitting there still trying to protect it, and he don't give a shit. He didn't give a shit about you from day one.
Well, obviously, it's a very tumultuous breakup between Jody Sue and Andy. Okay, it is. But let's get to about Summer.
Even brought it up in the chat that she speaks clear when she's talking to somebody, but this is the way she talks anyhow. And she said, and you know that dog trail, and that dog trail led right down to the road, and it led right to where Marlene and her brother and them park. And I mean, ain't that funny that it led right down to the road, right where they park every time they're up there?
I didn't ever park in the fucking road. My brother wasn't never with me when I went up there. I always went up on the fucking hill all the way to the top. I never parked at the bottom at that dog trail. Never did I. Never did I.
And then you know what she said? Then you know what she said? Because if you park on that road, if you park on that fucking road, nobody can get around you. Nobody can get
That's
around
right.
you. You're gonna, you know, you have to pull in somebody's mother freaking driveway in order for other people to go down that damn road. So you know what the fuck she talking about? I don't even know what the hell she's talking about. She knows she's a liar. But anyway, the only person that was down by that dog trail, walking their ass in the motherfucking creek, trying to wash their feet off, and she even admitted that she was in there to try to keep the scent, keep the scent of herself from being around that property. Why would she be in the water trying to keep her fucking scent off the property where they're looking for a missing child? I mean, if you didn't do nothing, you wouldn't be afraid of your scent being over there, right? You wouldn't care. But she's over there walking in the water. What is she doing? I don't think she's trying to get her scent from being on the property. I think she's trying to get some scent off her nasty ass feet, where she may have had been in contact with Summer when Summer got back from, Allison's house, where she was dressed and make-upped and before the video got took on those milk jugs. But and why would Jody Sue don't know exactly what happened to Summer? Why is she lying for Don and Candace? Or it's her and her son making up some shit they heard this fucking lion scream? Why would they be doing that? Why would they be, if they don't know what happened and they're not part of it, then why did they make up a lion-ass scream to protect Don and Candace? And they got the scream an hour too fucking soon because they're all stupid, immature criminals, right?
She got up on that panel today and fed that woman that she was interviewing her a fucking bunch of trash and bullshit. And it was nothing but lies. My brother got so freaking mad that he was fighting mad, that he was just fit to be tied because of the stuff that she was talking about my family and the whoever we hung out with and whatever. It's like he said, it's not about us, it's about Summer. Why is she sitting here bashing all of us? You're sitting here making money off it. What? Because they're fucking broke? They're all broke now because they ain't got no money to support them?
Do you think that Jody Sue wants Summer's case solved?
No, because I think she thinks she's going down with them because she's hiding and lying, and she knows exactly what the hell they did. Like in that video that you showed us all in your chat, she knows exactly what the hell they just did because they were going.
Okay, but in all fairness, now we'll come back to that in a minute. I can tell you right now, Candace has lied about Jody Sue as well. Why? Why is there protection on each side of that road?
I don't know about Jackie Dobbs. I've just heard about him. I don't know about Jody Sue. I've talked to Jody Sue time and time again. And every time she talks to me, her story has changed.
Like in how? Like in how?
Okay, like for instance, like she said that she was down on the bottom after she heard somebody scream or whatever. She was never at the bottom of that driveway. I drove down there faster than she could fucking fly.
Okay. So she said. So the scream, of course, is out of the question now, right? There was no scream, right?
There's no scream, dude. She's maced all that shit up. Lie? I can't lie. It's not in my metabolism.
Okay.
Now, if she was standing down there, was that after Summer had came up missing?
I don't know when she got down there. I just know when I drove down to my mom's truck, she was down there.
Okay.
Was she already looking, or was she doing something different?
She was just standing on the corner.
Very, very interesting.
Right.
Was it surprising, you coming down the drive knowing your daughter?
Yeah, because usually Jody Sue don't walk around. Lie? I can't lie.
It's not in her metabolism. Without the truth, you can't solve a case.
Elizabeth is damn, that name. I know I've seen it. I know I've heard it. I can't place it right now. I can't place it. There's so much to keep up with, but it does sound very familiar. I mean, it's like I know I've seen it. I know it's like I should know who it is. I should know.
Rocky Top, the Trents that she's talking about. I used to date a boy back in the day. His last name was Trent, and he went with me halfway through my pregnancy. So if that's who she's talking about, that's who that is. And it's Marlena, not Marlene. Thanks, though. Some of these YouTubers and people can't get my name right, and it kills me sometimes. I'm like, it's Marlena.
Where did you see Summer swimming? Where did Summer and your daughter swim together at?
They swam in the pools there at the little bitty kiddie pools there, and then we went to Warriors a time or two together. I went with them to Warriors. Me and Journey has.
Okay, so you guys have been to Warriors swimming there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Rocky Top meant why was you wanting to know about the Trents, Rocky Top? Because that don't have nothing to do with Summer. And I'm not being mean though.
She said she has seen Summer swimming at Warriors. Tom.
Okay, we're going to talk about this. Not today, because I have to put it together, and it takes my old brain and my metabolism a while. But she said Trent. And then Marlena said, I don't know why you're talking about the Trents. Well, that brings me back to the case of Carly Trent. She was missing, and she was found by Ronnie Lawson's brother. Not going into a deep dive, not going into conspiracy, but it seems a lot of people know each other. And so for all these people to know the whereabouts, the rugs, who owes who money, somebody has to know what happened to Summer Wells.
On swimming hole,
Warriors Lake.
And she said she has also seen, was it the swimming hole where Hunter and Candace was that day?
No, I didn't see her there. I've never been at that swimming hole. I'm saying like the swimming pool that she's had. See, they had a swimming pool up at one time and they took it down. And then we went to Warriors a time or two.
Yeah. Warriors is the horse pond. That's where they were.
It's also, no, it's on, there is also another side on the other. They're like you can go up to the horse ponds because that's on beyond the swimming point that we used to swim at. Because you
Right.
can go out there by the pools and all that, and then go down to where the arena and the boat arena and stuff is, and you can turn
Right.
left and go down through there. And there's a whole big spot there that everybody goes in and swims for. I've been there for years and years and years, and we went down there a couple of times.
Oh, okay. So you guys wasn't where Candace and Hunter and them was. You guys
No.
were over at the main vein of everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Sad Eyes, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support for Summer's channel, girl. God bless. Happy dance. You know, at the swing with some dollar store freaking on lights memorializing Summer again, right? They spent the whole day in 3 places memorializing Summer. It looks like the place she was destroyed. It looks like the place, you know, she was buried, if you ask me. That's my opinion. And then it looks like, you know, her favorite place where she loved to play. And
Well,
you
I
know,
didn't talk, no,
she
I
never
didn't know
played
the
no
Morrison
more.
that was buried. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, PJ. I just seen that he asked me if I knew the Morrison that was buried and when Summer went missing. No, I never. I don't know any Morrisons. I don't know any of the one with the last name Morrison.
His name was Timothy Morrison.
No, I didn't know anybody with the name of Timothy Morrison.
That's what his name was.
I didn't know him
Oh,
from
I'm
Adam.
bringing you up. I'm bringing you up, honey. You want to close camera? He's like, oh, thank goodness you saw me, PG.
You found your kid. I've been hiding in the bushes in some chats, and I love it because they don't know I'm in there, and I love it. They're like, God, where'd that woman go? It was on Mama PG's. Sorry, you're not going to find Mama PG's kid. Sorry. They're trying to figure out who we are.
Right. And I tell you, you know, and the funny thing is, they're always like, and I know they're in the.
Okay. Criminal Med said, sounds like a neat little park I take my grands to. It is. And it's been explained to me for years that there's a swimming area. There's a lot of things for families to do. But the day of, and I'm not saying that the swimming has anything to do with Summer going poof, but they went to the backside of the park. Now, there is definitely a reason for that. According to Kant, it's because she doesn't like germs. Now, listen, we've seen her house, okay? We've seen her house. She's not worried about germs. Would you rather go to nice picnic tables and a sanded beach and all that stuff, or you got to go through the unbeaten path to find a place to sit your ass, good morning, hey Jude, to go swimming? But she's afraid of germs. First time I heard that, I was like, do what? For one, to me, that's weird anyway. You're going swimming, for God's sake. You're going swimming. You're in the water. You're in the water. On the other hand, I'm thinking, after I saw the house and I saw how nasty it is, I was like, she's not scared of germs. Germs are scared of her. They were in the back to get their gulp on and their so nobody would see them.
Bushes. You know that people are in the bushes because your asses is in the bushes yourself, right?
That's right.
They in the bushes right now. Trust me, Jody Sue's in the bushes. Andy's in the bushes. Freaking Don and Candace is in the bushes. Ain't you, Don and Candace? I know you asses is in the bushes.
Hi, Don. Hi, Candace.
For sure. Yeah. Hello. And you know, I know all these people are in the bushes. Because you know what? They want to know what's being given out that may that may, end them up in some prison. That's what the hell they want to know. And if their heads is always in the bushes, then they got to have a dog in the race. Because if I don't got a dog in the race, I'm not going to have my head in the bushes, right? If I ain't got a dog in the race, I'm not going to have my head in the bushes. It's not like they're trying to, it's not like they're trying to solve Summer's case. Because they ain't. They was all running. They was all running like hell. They were scattered.
My opinion only, and it's got nothing to do with germs. If they all would speak and speak fluidly, not chew on their tongues and talk all the crazy gossip, which some could help, they probably might be a lot further on Summer's case. Okay? They might be a lot further on Summer's case.
It came down through the chat that somebody's grandchild needs prayers.
I don't know. I hope mine don't have no babies no time soon. She's still got a long time to go. She's got a long time to go.
Oh, grandson.
I didn't have her till like
somebody's grandson was hit. Somebody's grandson was hit by a car. She said she sent you an email, PG. I'm sorry. I you know what? I don't check emails that often. I will go check it though. I will go check it. But hey, prayers up for your grandson. Absolutely. Those prayers will be going up. Trust and believe. They will be going up. And there was, oh wow. And there was a little girl, Gracie Lynn, a little girl.
Oh man, I can't believe that they brought that up. Did you guys hear about that story about Gracie Lynn in Mississippi? She was playing outside of her house and there was a livestock tank and she got into it and she drowned. Now, if you look at all those comments, man, there's people out for blood and it's truly an accident. They had no idea where she was when she wasn't yelling back when they would come out and say, Gracie, where are you? I can't do a Mississippi accent, even though I lived there for a little while. They couldn't find her. They called the police with a quickness. And after a very good search, they found her in the livestock tank. It's a horrible story, and I feel horrible for their parents.
That he suspected, yes, that Hunter did do that. Andrew, I got recording where Andrew Halt, said that people won't listen to him, that I needed to, put it out here, because that's what he truly believes. He truly believes that, Hunter didn't only off Leslie, but his mother too.
If he truly believes that he did that, then it's truly believable that he did Summer.
Well, here's the thing. I've always heard if you take someone out of this world, if you take one person out of this world, after that, it's pretty easy for you to take other people.
Adrenaline rush. It's a total different. Adrenaline rush. It's a total different, obsession of taking them.
Well, what you don't understand is, once you do something like that, it's like a dog, once the dog tastes his blood, they'll keep biting people, and that's kind of the way it is. If Candace got him to do that to this little girl, and then, he felt like kind of powerful, that he has that power to do this, he may have done it to other people. I mean, Candace might have created, a monster, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, this is my opinion, but,
Okay. So that's where it gets really hairy, because Marlena has been putting out some breadcrumbs over the last few weeks about one of the children in the house, I won't say which one, that could have possibly done something to her daughter, hence why Grandis was in a hurry to bring Marlena's daughter back home. Marlena says, I heard, and I'm skipping over that part because he is a minor child. All right. Right. I heard he had been doing things, to someone else. The timeline from the week before to when CPS showed up on the 14th. And from when Grandis brought Marlena's daughter back with a quickness without even telling him. Didn't even know anyone was going to be home. And the rumor from quite a while ago was that Dawn took the son, I'm not going to say which one, not my place to say because they're minor children, to Utah is because he was getting to that age. CPS shows up on Monday, June 14th. It makes so much sense to me now that they said we have to come back because seeing the three boys wasn't enough for them. They wanted to see Summer due to the allegations. This was not about BB guns and dogs, okay? New. Hence why Dudley was fired on the 14th. Candace had to get up early in the morning on Tuesday, June 15th. And she takes Summer with her to take Grandis to the hospital to get her plastic knee checked out. Dawn says to a very trusted family friend that they were coming back. He said the 16th. I doubt they told him exactly the day and time, but they did want to see Summer. But now Summer's gone. Summer's gone.
No, once the camera went off, he was heading into the water. The camera goes off, and the next thing we know, Summer's propped up on milk jugs. I mean, fucking not just propped up, but pinned in. She's pinned in with milk jugs, and she doesn't look like she's with us anymore.
Okay, I believe she was alive in the truck. I'm still on the fence as to was that video taken the day of Summer's disappearance or from before, as we've been led to believe. Because if she is that, no pun intended, dead asleep, and we know the rumor about Andy giving them things to put the kids to sleep, is that what was going on? Because let's face it, it's warm that day, and she's got a lined tracksuit on. She's laying on cold milk, and she's out, dudes. She's out. Home skillets, she's out. She's sleeping. Now, according to Ansley Daniels at WJHL, Pruitt told her that the last known video capture they have of Summer is from Warriors Park. You know, from the TikTok video. All right. So what about the milk video? The police don't have to tell us everything they know. And the only person who is saying it's from April is Lisa K. Ruitz. Well, the problem with that is, one, she's an idiot, and two, is that Grandis bought the tracksuit in May. Is there two of them? Did she buy identical outfits? One in April and one in May? Yes, it would make more sense to have it on her in April, but it was all supposed to be for the first day of school. Remember, these are all the things they are saying. But the police have said, according to Ansley Daniels, that the last known digital capture of Summer is from being at Warriors Park. And this is a very good point D. Don didn't know any of his neighbors. Remember what he told Jeff Bobo from Rogersville Review or Times Union? He said he doesn't know any of the neighbors. He don't know nobody in the holler. He only knows church people. But the neighbors know all his business. Rugs, the swinging parties, and I don't mean summer swing. Who owes who money? How could that be possible?
It totally looks on the line. So,
Well, people,
you know,
I'm gonna take a minute.
And she totally disappears, right? She totally disappears as well. So, you know, you tell me what it looks like. Because, you know, it sure the hell looks to me like, you know, it looks to me like what it is, right? It looks to me like what it is. And when Candace first put the camera on Hunter, I mean, take a look at his face. When she first put it on him, his back was turned. And when he turned around, he looked at her like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, what are you doing? He gives her that look. And then he tries to play it off. You know, he tries to throw up little signs and play it off. But he was giving her a look like, you know, what the hell are you doing? And then it's like, you know, I don't give an F. And that's how Hunter is, right? I don't give an F. And he just walks into the water, you know, and she turns it off then. And the next thing we know, you know, Summer is on some milk jugs. Don Wells hiding at work with this Starlink. He done fired his coworker to blame it on. You know, this all sounds like a trap, right? It all sounds like a trap to me. It sounds like a planned up trap, and Summer was caught in it because that's who they plotted it against. That's, you know, that's the best I can explain it. And Jody Sue and Andy, I think Jody Sue let the cat out of the bag when Andy married up that chick. I think Jody Sue got so, you know, so angry at she, you know, that she let it out of the bag that Andy had been supplying the stuff that, you know, sedated up and you know, and allowed these little girls, especially Summer, you know, Donnie Candace didn't have access to them other little girls, whoever the other little girls were. They didn't have access to them all the time. But the one they did have access to, well, you know, really got destroyed.
And that's true. I can't disagree with that. But everything Marlena has said the last few weeks has just made my blood curdle. Jody, I take with a grain of salt. However, it has been admitted that they know Marlena's whereabouts. Dee said camping, horse riding, swimming, fishing, picnics. Now let's talk about that. Because Candace said she couldn't go out on her own property to look for her daughter, who wasn't technically missing at the time. She was just, I'd say, out of sight. Okay? Just couldn't find her. She was too scared of the wildlife out there. I think she said bears, coyotes, the snakes. But she's at Warriors Park that day and not on the other side of the water where everything's cleaned out and nice and it's a family area. No, she's going through the woods to have privacy because she's scared of germs. Now, remember her summer of love with Kathy, where they were kayaking and camping all weekend. But she says, oh, I don't go out in the woods because of the wildlife. But she's a hiking bitch the rest of the time, is she not? It's never going to make sense until it's solved. And it probably, to be quite honest, it probably is solved. It's probably everything but laced up, except for a couple of puzzle pieces to sell it to a jury. And with all the characters involved, that might take a little while. Sadly, it might take a little while. Hang on, I'm trying to find something. I've got it right here. That's what I'm looking for. Hold on, while that's loading, take a look at Candace.
Where's that pretty little zipper at? He is outside as usual. Brenda, isn't it nice to see her smile? It is beautiful. It's so nice. It is. I love y'all. Y'all are great. No, you're the great one. You're great. Both of you are. Both of you are.
Thanks for being our friends.
Your friends are hard to come by.
See the Mountain Dew, oh, that's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, right?
That's called a chaser, you idiot. That's what I'm drinking. And then she goes, Mirror, Dale, go get her. While Dale's out there, sick as hell, painting the porch, cleaning up their yard. Mirror, Dale, go get her. Go get her. Can't even put her cigarette down to go help her friend clean up her own yard. But the DA, Dan Armstrong, said it perfectly. Because of the players in this drama, it's going to be it's going to be hard to solve. It's going to be hard to solve. Well, you guys are the absolute best. Thank you for being here for Summer Wells. I'm going to give you guys, and especially our amazing mod squad, a huge round of applause. Because you guys are here for the right reasons. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Again, keep Summerwell's name out there. There is a lot of information, and I mean a ton. And it's not speculation because it's what they have said. Unless they are all lying, according to certain people, they're all lying except for Don and Candace. Chango, what are you talking about? Chango said, guess I will tell the story again about my sighting. What did you sight? What did you see? Well, send me an email and let me know, because I didn't see it in chat, and I apologize for that. You guys have a great rest of your Monday. Try to survive your Monday, because we all know Mondays suck. They suck. If I don't see you in Discord or one of the Facebook groups, I'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. because you guys are the absolute best on these nasty, gutter-filled, trash-talking YouTube streets.